Heyo everybody, Haku here with my review of episode 11 of Taboo Tattoo, and sadly again, I didn't think this was as bad as last week, but it was still pretty darn bad. I don't know, it's just, this show has so much potential, and we're wrapping up towards the finale. I think finale will be next episode, and so I feel sort of just, I don't know, it's just such a waste of what could have been a good show. And I think the manga's probably not nearly as bad. I'll have to read it when this ends and find out, because I think they're cutting major stuff out, and that they're taking massive leaps and just changing a ton of stuff to get the ending for the anime in. So I don't think that the manga will be as bad as this, but it was pretty cheesy and cliche and just bad overall. Starting off, we see Saggy jumping into the ruins, and Tom is waiting outside the hole for him. And sorry, if I keep looking down, I actually have some notes here, because there was a lot of random little stuff that I was like, I'm not going to be able to remember off the top of my head from this episode. It was just so fast-paced and jumpy, you know? But yeah, going into the episode, I always go in hoping for the best, expecting it to be really good, even though I did, hear a lot of bad things as usual going into it. But I like Cal's new design a lot better than her old design, honestly. And not just because she's wearing sexy clothes, but I think it looks a lot cooler. But we find out that she lost her power because of BB and whatever he did to her head, cutting circuits in her brain or something. I have no idea. Some sort of cheesy BS. But she now has access to use what was it called, noise canceller or something, that shorts out people's abilities. And she goes and she starts fighting Saggy, and that fight lasts nearly the entire episode, just jumping to it here and there. And yeah, we have was it Tamaki wrecking the waifu lady, and Tamaki is honestly my favorite character in this. Already, out of all the things that I watched this episode, and I was like, ugh, why did they do that? Why did they make that mistake? Or why did they make it so cheesy? I loved Tamaki. He's a really funny and interesting character. We also still have Izzy fighting Olaka and the eel-controlled Lisa. Then we have her get randomly saved by two dudes jumping in at one point, and a random ass Star Wars reference that made no sense whatever. Really rushed, and just really rushed fights that were honestly even less well choreographed and animated than the earlier fights, a lot less well done. But Izzy just punches Eel straight out of Lisa. They're both down for the episode. Just one punch, that's all you need. And Laka freaking fucked this dude up. He just chopped a dude into bits with the whips or whatever. And then he gets random Deus Ex Machina poisoned. Why does nobody else have this poison? Why was the poison never used before? It just made no sense. But he just got random poisoned. And that was it for Laka. So Tamaki, hilarious again, seeing him talking about being a pro-level protagonist. And there was some really cheesy CG when he went for the charge and busted through Laka and the waifu chick. Just, again, the cheese. Cal ends up wrecking Saggy, but he just heals a lot. So, I don't know. Saggy at this point, I thought in the beginning he was pretty likable. He was just generic anime protagonist, whatever. But over the course of the series, and especially the last few episodes, he's actually taken a turn into being dislikable, into being pretty much unlikable, honestly. It is very hard to give a single shit about anything that Saggy goes through at this point. And I'm thinking and hoping, again, making broad assumptions that because I feel bad giving something such a negative review, I've got to look for the bright points here and there. Bright point, the manga probably wasn't as bad. Then next up we have got Horia, pretty much her plan to become a cheese goddess, and we kind of knew that, just the generic simple anime antagonist plot that she has going on. And we see Kujuli for a second, and we find out she has good guy motives of just wanting Horia to be herself, but we cut away from that and it's never seen again. So meaningless this episode pretty much. Izzy and Tamaki are running to Saggy, And we have the cheesy end to that Cal and Saggy fight. I really hated the end of that fight with seeing BB and everything, and having Cal be defeated and just still being so like lovelorn or love lost or something like that over BB. It's just, I don't know, that's the one bad thing about Cal's character, and it's a pretty major bad thing. So the princess she bursts out of the crystal or whatever, and she's now God, maybe God. I assume she is. She's pretty powerful. And we have some bland Saggy flashbacks to when he's dealing with the loss of Toko, but pretty much every fan hated Toko, and I don't know, it just seemed bland and dry, the flashbacks. Which again, sad. We have this Deus Ex Wiseman medicine that just comes out of nowhere. Oh, now all of a sudden we have medicine to make it so that you can use your power longer without getting tired. And then the princess kicking his ass for a bit was actually really badass looking, and would have been really cool if the rest of the episode, or rest of the show even, had lived up to that ass kicking. And then Ashita gets killed by a random ass just fighter jet, and I hated that so much. Because Ajita is the captain of Brahmin, the main bad guy group. He is the captain, and we did absolutely shit fucking nothing with him in the plot. He showed up in the background once or twice, and then when he finally showed up, none of our actual named characters interacted with him in any way at all. He showed up, turned into a bug, got taken out by no-name fighter jets, and that's it. He had no impact on the story whatsoever. Such an important character had absolutely no impact on the story. That is completely ridiculous. That's probably the worst thing so far for me in the series, was seeing that. Even worse than the Princess versus Toko. Yeah, even worse for me than the Princess versus Toko ping pong match. And then Tamaki, Tom, and Izzy go to find Saggy, but instead they find Sanders, and Sanders has a failsafe nuke. Then we find out Izzy's brother looks like Saggy, and that is the biggest freaking cliche. These girls finding the protagonist, and they somehow look exactly like somebody from their past. That is the biggest freaking cliche. It was really bad. And then at the very end, they find Saggy impaled, and we're gonna just move on and have the final battle next episode, and that's it, I guess. Gosh, man. Like, it was really entertaining at parts, I'll give it that. But it was also really cringy at parts, just because it was so cheesy and cliche. The two biggest words I can think of for this episode are cheesy and cliche. It was really seriously bad. And also, I didn't like how unlikable Saggy has become. I didn't like it very much. Also, I thought it was really anticlimactic, sort of. Like, everybody was just taken down easy and with Deus Ex BS, like what happened to Olaka. It was way rushed, but way rushed usual. Biggest problem, once again, no use for Ajita in the story whatsoever. He's the captain of Brahmin, and we just throw him away. He didn't even interact with any of our characters. He sort of interacted with BB in the past, and that was it, and that was only like for a second when he tried to attack him. So he did nothing in the entire story, and he was the captain of Brahmin. But guess he's not a cute anime girl, so if you're not a cute anime girl or my boy Tamaki, you don't get a part in the story. Or Saggy, but his part in the story is tenuous at best. Or actually, BB and Wiseman kind of had parts in the story as well, even though they were cheesy and they were really only there to give power-ups to Saggy, which is a shame, because BB was possibly the most interesting character, and yet he ended up only being there to give Saggy power-ups. Deus Ex nonsense again and again to beat Olaka and Cal. Throughout this series, we've had really good animation usually, but I thought that this was a step down for most of the scenes, and even some of the scenes like the CG that I talked about before with the Tamaki scene looked really bad even. So production-wise, it was a little bit of a step down. Entertainment-wise, a definite step up. Story-wise, still ground zero, pretty shitty. So not the most terrible thing ever. A bit entertaining. Like I said, I laughed at a few parts for sure. Like, genuinely laughed too. Like at parts you were supposed to laugh at. Not laughing at it, laughing with it, you know? But even then, it was definitely solidly below average. So I'll give it 3.5. I don't know, 3.5 pro level protagonists out of 10. My boy Tamaki, pro level protagonist. But either way, if you did like this video, comment down there what you thought of this episode. I went pretty hard on it, but I'm pretty sure a lot of you will probably go even more harsh on it than I. Subscribe for more Taboo Tattoo, Fukugen no Mononoke in 91 days, and a bunch more. In 2 weeks when it starts, we will start reviewing and following week to week Mahou Shoujo Ikusei Gakuen? Is that it? Magical Girl Raising Project? No clue. Ikusei Gakuen? I have no idea. Something. And yeah, that's it. Follow on Twitter if you want as well, and I'll try to keep you updated there on stuff. That's it. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.